endurance is a little bit better. What have you seen?
He's just getting better and better. Each and every year he's been here, he's improving. Herb is, I said it last night, he's a fantastic basketball player. Defensively, he should be one of the top defensive players in the NBA, and he's showing it already night in and night out, so he'll continue to do that. That's who he is.
Najee and Jose, were they able to do anything in practice today?
Nothing today.
You got your first back-to-back coming up this week. I know this is looking ahead a little bit. Do you anticipate, all your guys playing? Do you know yet?
We'll see. It's really a game time sort of adjustment feel. We'll look at who we have and kind of go. The game will dictate it for us.
And Dyson was struggling a little bit with his shot last night. What's the discussion been with him just finding, where to find his offense?
Well, a big part of it is he missed some easy shots. He missed a few easy layups. He missed free throws. Those are things that he knows that he can clean up easily, and that gets you momentum. It gets you rhythm throughout the course of the game. He'll be fine. His defense was solid. He rebounds the ball. He'll continue to make solid plays offensively, but making those easy, at the basket layups, making your free throws will allow him to have more momentum offensively.
Coach, your team took a positive step offensively in terms of lower turnovers, but I know that the offensive rebounding's been a little bit lower than I think what you would probably prefer.
Our offensive rebounding?
Yes. Yeah. Is there anything else that's staying out to you that the offense can really maybe take a stride or two forward?
I think it's been fine. We can go back and film and nitpick, but we'll take wins however we get them. And then we'll come in, teach, and improve, and continue to get better from there.
Looking ahead to the next game against the Warriors, a team that really emphasizes three-point shooting with a lot of their shooters. What's the challenge going to be like for with your defense prioritizing taking a lot of pain, making the adjustment to close out on their guys and maybe perhaps run them off the line and stuff?
It's a multiple effort game against those guys. They play fast. They're going to get up a ton of threes. The rebounding will be important for us when we contest shots and they miss long shots, long rebounds, but it's a multiple effort game. You just can't relax. Steph, Clay, now adding Chris, those guys are moving. They pass the ball. They relocated, so you can't relax against this team. And then you got to keep them on your heels with being efficient offensively, just making simple plays over and over again.
Obviously, you have a lot of familiarity with Chris. What kind of dynamic does he add to that team?
He's a leader, and every organization that he goes to, he makes them better.
Ball and body movement, something you've preached since day one here. How do the Warriors consistently just do that, night in and night out? Do you think?
It's a part of their DNA. They've been doing it for years. All the guys buy into how they want to play, and it's the same thing that we're teaching here. And so they have more experience doing it. They've won doing it. They're really good at it. But come Monday night, we have to put those guys on their heels just like they'll try to do to us.
And the history Chris has against that team. What's it like seeing him in that jersey now?
I'm sure it's weird for him. It's weird for everybody else, but it's the NBA, and it can happen where you can be, they can be your opponent. They can be your sort of arch enemy, and then years later you can be playing for that organization. So, hats off to him, though. Hats off to Golden State until Monday night.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Thank you.
What are you seeing from the offense so far in these first two games? Just some areas you want to improve?
Our third quarter pace has been awful, so we got to do a better job of getting into our stuff faster, having force in the half court. So that's on me and the rest of the guys to just come out quarters better, especially after halftime. But I would say screening angles, pace, hitting the pocket more, and then being able to get downhill, shoulders downhill more will be helpful for our offense.
What did you think you guys did well defensively last night?
I thought we competed, we communicated, forced them to have to go multiple sides of the floor instead of just attacking one side. Better ball pressure and pick and rolls, better help. I think they scored 10 points the last minute of the game, but outside of that, we had them under 80, which is a really good game.
Can people talk enough about what Herb does defensively for you? And CJ, have you seen him maybe take a step or two even forward from what he's done in the past?
I think he's just a smarter player. Each year he gets smarter, understanding angles, understanding how he can be great defensively. He's got a great motor. He's stronger. He's in better shape. He understands how he's going to be utilized each night. And I think all of those things play a factor. But he's great. He works hard. He works on his game. He understands basketball, how he can be impactful, and how our team can be impactful. So I think he showed on the ball, off the ball, he's one of the best defenders in the NBA.
There's been a huge amount of emphasis through training camp and or part of the season to get more threes up. And you yourself, a huge percent of your shots are coming from beyond the arc. Last night, Dion mentioned that's not something you're ever going to really shy away from. So just how are you feeling about embracing that challenge of getting more threes up and just like what's that been doing to the offense?
Yeah, I mean, with Trey out, obviously we're missing a guy who can shoot threes and make threes at a high volume. So for our spacing, understanding the first unit, we got to be able to shoot threes. I got to be able to shoot threes. I think I probably turned down 2 or 3 last night. I probably could have taken, but overall, I think based on the gravity those guys create, there's going to be opportunities. I'm gonna still shoot some middies, throughout the season as the game opens up and as the floor opens up. But I'm a good shooter. They set good screens, and I got to be able to knock them down.
Speaking of good shooters, you've been able to play in some of those staggered bench units with Hawkins and Matt Ryan. Just what's it like playing with that amount of space on the floor? Just both for you to operate in terms of getting to the cup, but also at times you can feed JV in the post and help really can't come from places.
I like space, so I'm always in favor of having space, being able to create, get downhill. Shooters space the floor. They run really good basketball players in terms of movement, pace, tempo, 0.5 mentality. So it's helpful. JV gets his touches, so I think we've been doing a pretty good job of mixing and matching and playing well together.
One of the things we heard from Zion last night is, he's, I guess, really focused on, being consistent this season. He said, this is good that we won, but, the important thing is just, kind of stacking these together, stringing these together. Have you seen that from the team of, better understanding of just the need to be consistent throughout an 82-game season?
Yeah, you want to learn through wins, obviously. There's some things we could have done better, but it's better to learn through a win than to learn through a loss. Starting games well, now we got to start quarters better, start halves better, execute better down the stretch. Just those little things will help us as we get closer and closer to, March, April, May. But I think we're improving, and we understand what we need to do each night to get better and to win.
With Herb, have you ever seen anyone since you've been in the league that has the ability to block threes the way he does? It seems like that's rare in the NBA. And what is it about? What is it about his skill set that allows him to be able to do that?
I mean, he's got good length, timing. He's athletic. He doesn't block the shot out of your hand. He lets the ball kind of leave your hand first, and he can kind of block it in the air, which is really difficult. And it takes athleticism, timing, skill. He covers, every part of the floor. Takes charges, active on the ball, off the ball. He's elite. He'll be all defensive team this year for sure.
We've heard Willie say a couple of times to B.I. and Z, y'all are the best duo in the league, and he said he's gonna keep on saying it. How important is that for your coach? Not just verbalize that, but to kind of emphasize it over and over again the way he has.
I mean, they're both very talented players, all stars. If they play enough games, all NBA in terms of their impact on the floor, scoring, passing, the gravity that they have. So they gotta make their mark every night. Sometimes that's scoring, sometimes that's rebounding, sometimes that's getting a block shot, being active defensively, driving and creating crowds. That's all a part of their talent, a part of their skill set.
Yeah. CJ, how different is it going to be to face Chris Paul in the Warriors uniform tomorrow?
That'd be a little weird, but I mean, he's one of the best players to ever play the game, Hall of Famer, smart, heady basketball player, and he's very familiar with Louisiana.
You had 7 assists last night, 1 turnover. One of the things you mentioned is you want to take on the challenge of really putting guys in the right spots and particularly facilitating. How you feeling that's coming along with the starting unit and just in general?
Doing a decent job. I mean, the turnover, he kicked the ball, just so we clarify, he kicked the ball, so it shouldn't have been a turnover. But just playing with pace, trying to get us organized, get us in the right positions, make sure everybody's getting their touches. And I think it's coming along, but I mean, we got 80 games left, a lot more practices, a lot more movement within the personnel rotation. Jose, Najee, Trey, hopefully they get back soon so that we have a lot of different guys we can utilize, and that'll help us with the spacing, help us with the pace, and hopefully continue to allow us to have 13 turnovers instead of 20 or 21 like we did in Game 1.
Do you feel like some of those reads are a little bit easier right now with some of the stuff that Coach JV has put in?
I think we're all just more mature basketball players, but I think the reads do help. It's quick decision making, it's spacing, I'm not trying to do too much. Use your talent, whatever your talent is. If it's coming off pick and rolls, then engage. If it's scoring, you score. Make the easy pass. I think all of those things just allow the game to be played easier and more fun.